Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marte, I come from Norway and I love makeup. And today I just received all of my Inglot cosmetics or Inglot shadows. I don't know if they're called cosmetics, but I ordered quite a few because they were having a 25% sale. And I just put them in this one. Sorry about the reflection, I think I will just open it. So I bought mostly mattes, and then I bought all of their creamy shadows that they had. I also have a couple of them here. So as you can see, this one creamy one came broken, so I will have to repress it. But my plan is eventually to repan all of these into 26mm round pans anyway, so I guess this one will just be first out. So basically today I just want to test this out, use a couple of them and see how the formula is. Hopefully it's good because I bought 1,000 of them. But yeah, I guess we will just get going. So as a base I just have my NARS Smudge Proof Eye Primer, and I don't know the names of these because they come in numbers. So I'm basically just going to show you the colors, and then if you're interested in knowing which ones I used, I can double check later. Just comment down below. So I think I will just go ahead and do something simple just to test out some of the different formulas. So I'm going to use this one, I think, in my outer crease, and I really want to do something with the pinks as well, and then maybe just top it off with this one because these shades seem to be way more like topper shades, but they're quite sparkly, which I really like. So I'll just go ahead and start with this one in my outer crease. And I did swatch quite a few of them while I was unpacking them because they came in like this plastic packaging, and it was horrible to get them out because you had to like clip around the edges and like with a scissor, which is not really the easiest and safest thing. Wow, that was easy. So I spent maybe 2 hours cutting all of these loose and then again placing them in my palette. Wow, this is so pigmented. And look at the blending. It's like so easy. I haven't really blended, I've just packed it on basically. So I'm just going to take half of the lid, like the outside, with this one. Maybe I'll actually darken it up a bit using one of the other shades. I'll go ahead and try like just taking the tiniest bit of this darkest one on the edge of the brush, and then we will see if they build on each other. Wow, looks like they do. This is also super pigmented, it seems. Yeah, those build really nicely. It doesn't seem like it's dusting off or anything once I continue the blending. So that's really, really good. So I'm just going to take another brush which has almost the same shape. That one was, as usual, my Kaleidos S3 brush, so this one has the same shape. And then I'm just going to take the shadow right here on my inner crease and maybe the shadow on the bottom to deepen it up. But I'm just going to start with the lightest today. Not that it's something I usually do, but today we're just testing out the shadows, so I just want to see if they can build on each other and basically just how they perform. And I really like these kinds of color combinations. It's a little bit rosy, but then again, the teal, I don't know, mermaid-esque. I really enjoy it. This one, even though it's really pale, it's also very pigmented. Like obviously this will be super pale on darker skin tones. I am the lightest shade in basically all my foundations and concealers, so this would probably not show that much on darker skin tones. Now I'm taking the one underneath. It's also not super dark. It looks a bit darker in the pan than the others, but I mean, it is showing up. Since these are not like the next to each other on the color wheel, I'm not trying to really blend them together, just tapping up like on top of each other. I want to deepen it up a little bit more, so I'm just going to go in with this more cool toned, medium toned, purpley, pinky, I don't know, mauvey shade. So I'm just going to build that here as well. So there was a little bit more pigment to this one, it seems. Now it's like the third shade that I'm topping over each other here. They seem super easy to work with, if I'm being honest. I think I've found out, by the way, why it always turns darker here on the inner corner. It's because always I use concealer to begin with right here, just because I have a very blue spot right here and I want to conceal it before putting on eyeshadow, because obviously I want it to be a nicer base, especially here in the inner corner where I want my lightest shades to be, like my inner corner highlights and stuff. And I use often like more creamy concealers, or like Tarte Shape Tape or Makeup Revolution, and I believe that the moisture in the concealers, that they like sort of catch onto the pigment a bit more, because that's often what I saw when I was using especially like my Tarte concealer as an eyeshadow base, and that's what I'm like seeing here as well. So I think that is the solution to my problem, that I shouldn't put concealer there. But I will just have to wait until I get a tinted eyeshadow primer, because then that problem is probably going to be solved. Just in case some of you others are also struggling with that, then maybe that is the reason. But I think I'm actually happy with this, so I will just replicate it on the other eye, and then I will see if I will add something else, and then we'll go in with one of those creamy pigments, which they're called. So I think I will go in with one of the creamy pigments. It's really hard to show you because I was like swatching them on my hand here so that I could see them. Here we have the lighter one. I will just turn down the lighting so maybe you can see it. That's the one I was planning to use. Now I'm just lighting on it with my phone, so hopefully you can see a bit more of the sparkliness to it. And then here on the side, it's going to be so hard to show you. You can totally see the sparkles and the duochromeness though. I think I might use this one on the outer part of the lid, and then the lighter, more white-ish gold one on my inner part of the lid, and I will just try to use my finger first and see how that goes. I do have the one that is that came broken here, but I've like been making coffee and doing all kinds of stuff, so it's been wiping off a bit, so you can't really see the sparkles, but that's more like a rose to gold shade. And this one is more of like a fuchsia, like a muted fuchsia or light fuchsia, but then it has a very like orangey base. So I'm just going to try to take it on my little finger. They're like super creamy. They feel like almost like silk on the finger. So I'm really excited to see if this one will actually go onto the lid. I think these are very sheer, so let's just try. Oh, okay, so I took a lot. I think this one would probably look prettier if I actually cut my crease with a concealer or used a base that was the same color. So I think maybe I'll actually do that, but it's like the formula is so weird. It's like so light. So I don't really think we're going to get anywhere with this. I'll just try with a brush now that we're trying out. I might just remove all of this, but like I'm basically just trying out the shades today, so I don't really care that much about how it ends up looking. So now I'm just taking a flat brush. It picked up super easily, and it does not go straight onto the lid when I do this, so I will use a spray. So I'll just be spraying it with my Mario Badescu Aloe and Cucumber spray. Okay, so now we at least get it to stick to the lid, but I think maybe the way to go with this one would be a glitter glue. Then we would probably have it more opaque. But like this is not looking that bad. It's just the fact that I have the more tealish blue shadow underneath that is like messing with it, because obviously, as I said, these two colors are not the best together. So the fact that this shadow is sheer and you can see that color through it makes it look a little bit weird maybe. But it just looks a bit more purple, I guess. So it's not the worst. I'll go ahead and use some glitter glue, and then I will try to top them over there. So now that I have glitter glue, I just used my BH Cosmetics Base Booster. I'm just going to try to top this over. Immediately you can see that this is working so much better, but I think it's nice to have tried both ways. Since this is so creamy, I'm worried about the creasing of the shadow, so I'll definitely just tell you guys I think I will just write it when editing how it's holding up, unless it starts creasing immediately, of course. Now I am also using quite a bit of product, so since this is like such a special formula in my opinion, there might be a learning curve to it. I'm just tapping it a bit above where I actually placed the base booster, just because I don't want it to be like a super defined cut crease. And I guess I will just use I have a small towel here, so I will just wipe the brush off there, and then I will be going in with that other creamy pigment, which was way lighter. Ooh, that is stunning. Seems like there's almost a bit of green to it, or it's just yellow maybe. It's very pretty. And obviously, since these are so creamy, they're super easy to blend into each other. I'm trying not to like take away from the color that I applied. Since it's so light anyway, it's kind of hard to see if it actually did or not. So this is looking really cute in my opinion. I really do like it. So I'll do the same on my other eye, then I'll do my face makeup, and we'll come back to the lower lash line. So maybe I will use some of the different colors for that. Oh gosh, I put on way too much concealer. I can just feel Robert Welsh staring at me somewhere. Okay, since I used way too much concealer, I'm just going to do the rest of my eyeshadow before it starts creasing too bad, so I can like set it more with my eyeshadow than with my powder. I really want to do, I want to use a blush, an orange blush that I bought from them, I forgot to mention, but therefore I want to like tie in some of these shades, so I think I will just start out with this one, trying to connect it a bit with this one. Of course, again, not really blending them together, but just like making them meet each other right here. And obviously I will have to do a lot of work here with the blending too, but I'm not really concerned about that right now. Wow. And this is like on a set base, because I did set with setting powder and it's still very pigmented. And it almost shows up a little bit darker than in the pan. I don't know if you can like, oh my god, this is like so big. I don't know if you can see. So I'm just slightly blending the edges, and then I will go in with that shade that is underneath, the blue shade, and put that more in the inner corner. I think that will connect nicely with the more pinky shades, because that's a bit more of a pinky peach than this one, which is way more orangey toned. And this one reminds me a little bit of Lethal Cosmetics in the shade Cycle almost, which is a very light, very light orange, but also a little bit peachy. I always look so stupid when I do my lower lash line, because I'm like, looks like I'm trying to be painting Scream or something. Now I'm just going in like back into that more tealish tone, and I will just be slightly blending the edges here. I'm trying to like pack the pigment where I already have it, and then I won't be dragging it too far down or anything. As usual, I'm like trying to get rid of the dip right here and trying to like elongate my lower lash line. And right now, because these shades are meeting exactly there, sorry about the lighting, the sun is like coming out, but since these are meeting exactly there, it's quite light right in here, and that's like exactly what we don't want. So I'm just going to tap that blue right over here, trying not to blend the shades. Okay, so I feel like this fixed it a bit at least. I might just go in later, but I think we'll say that this is good for now. And I really want to use that lighter shimmer just like here on the inner corner of my lower lash line too. I think that would be cute, and of course we also get to see how that shade looks on top of a more peachy orange shade as well. So I'll be just taking a tiny bit of my glitter glue right here, and I will be placing that, as you can see, all the way into my lower lash line, but I also want it to like be, I don't mind it going quite far down, so I'll just be tapping it a bit out, but I don't want it to like be a line of where we can see the shadow. And I wanted to be like mostly focused on the inner corner, but I always end up taking it so far out because I just love shimmers and sparkly things. So now I'm just going in with that sparkly shade, just using the edge of this flat brush to be able to kind of pack it on into the wrinkles that I have in my under eyes, or folds, or whatever you call them. So it is interesting to see. It does actually look a bit different. On top of the orange, it brings out way more of that yellow tone that the shadow has. Like, these are great toppers. They're so sparkly. And I'm sure there are like a lot of different options for these colors, but on the Norwegian Inglot page, it was just the 3 that I bought. So, but I think I have seen some in green or blue or something, because of course I googled a lot. But this is looking cute. It's almost like a pastel look. I'm liking it. I just put on my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and I will be using again that same lighter creamy pigment. I think it's called creamy pigment. I'm sorry I haven't really told you about the shadows, but I'm just saving that for the video where I will actually be swatching the shadows, and I have no idea when I will do that, because swatching and making a video on that takes quite a long time, because you have to write in all of the different names, and especially when the shades just have numbers, I will have to like double check all of them. But this creamy pigment, I really like. It's so versatile. It's like I have it here, I have it here, and I have it here. It looks different all places. So here I have the blush that I wanted to use. It's the Inglot Blush in 45. I repanned it, and because it comes in like these huge rectangles, and I think it was like, how much product was it? 8 grams or something. It was a lot, so I filled up 3 of those pans. This is 36mm pans, but it was very hard to repan because it's like so soft. So you will see when I put my brush in here, a lot of kick up. So I didn't use the blush before that, so I don't really know how kick-uppy the blush was to begin with. I should have probably waited, but I really wanted to get it done. So I'm just slightly tapping it on my arm, and then I will start blending it out on my cheek. And I haven't used any bronzer or anything like that yet, so I will be able to blend out this blush quite a bit once I apply those. So yeah, it's quite pigmented, but that also has something to do with the fact that I repanned it and it's super soft now. But it looks like it's blending out relatively nicely. I feel like I need a clean brush to be able to blend this properly. I will just use my powder brush. That's also probably going to like disperse the product a little bit more. This is quite pretty. It's like, I think I'm becoming a blush person. Cute. Then I will just finish up the rest of my makeup, do some close-ups, and then I will talk about what kind of other products I used on my face. That, you guys, was my finished look, and I must say I'm really impressed by these shadows. I feel like they performed really beautifully, and like if you look at the swatches that I did, like this is one swatch. I didn't go into and swatch more than like once. I just took a couple of rounds, and they're super pigmented. And of course some of them I've smudged out a little bit, but like look at that pigment. They're so beautiful. So I was like really afraid that I'd regret buying these, because I mean they are a bit expensive. I think they were like maybe like $5 or something on sale. So obviously I spent quite a lot of money on these, so I hope it is a good investment. I cannot wait to repan these into round pans, so I will be able to use them in my custom palettes, because like shades like this, deeper, darker teal shades, I don't really have many of those, and I really am into purpley shades. Like, I'm so excited about these three, for example. Honestly, all the peaches and lighter shades, because I love pastels at the moment. And like pinks, I don't have that many matte pinks. Like, I don't know why. It's just not something I've bought a lot of. And obviously, always when buying singles, I go for like these beautiful rustic orangey tones. I just have to have them from every brand. And of course greens. So I feel like I got a nice array of colors. Obviously here you have the more boring ones in my opinion, these bottom ones. I really like these two. Yeah, this is like also something I really go for. You can see up here from Makeup Addiction, the dirty brown shade. I just love those more mustardy toned shades. So I'm really excited about that, and I always like to pick up a dark brown. I have one in the other palette as well there. And yeah, just some brighter shades and one transition shade here. It's like a, I don't know, it's not like a normal brown. It has a bit of pink, but also a little bit of orange, I feel like. So I'm really excited about all of these shades. So I cannot wait to use them more. I will do a swatching session with them. I don't know when. I have so much good things coming my way right now. So many beautiful shadows, Glaminatrix, Terra Moons, Lethal Cosmetics. Yeah, just a lot of beautiful shadows. So I don't know if Inglot will be like on the top of my list. It's not an indie brand as far as I know. But I'm really excited about it anyway, because I feel like this adds to my collection of single shadows and they will just play great in my custom palettes. So very excited about that. And I do like the simple look that I came up with. The blush was so beautiful. I've been looking for a orangey peachy blush for such a long time. For the rest of my makeup, I did end up using my LA Girl lip liner in the shade brown, and I paired it with the Norwegian brand's lipstick. Here in the sheer formula, it's in the shade Newbie, and it has apparently melted. But as you can see on my lips, they're like super glossy. So it's very comfortable to have on the lips. But thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a comment down below if you have tried Inglot eyeshadows before. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe to my channel to see more content from me. And hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!